Hi fashion lovers, you're welcome to another interesting video. Today's tutorial is going to be on how to make a sleeveless double-breasted notched collar jacket, just like what you're seeing on the screen. If it is something you want to learn, you need to keep watching this video. I'm going to show you how to cut and sew this. Even if you're a beginner, trust me, this is going to be very simple. So if it is something you want to learn, you need to keep watching this video. Don't forget to like and share this video. And if you are new here, you're highly welcome. Kindly subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And to all my subscribers, thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you all. Let's get started. To get started, you are going to first draft the back part. So this is my back part, and I've drew a line on the upper part and on the side as a guide. So I'll go ahead and mark from my shoulder to my chest line, my bust point, my waistline, shoulder to hip line, and shoulder to the length of the dress. So that is what I'm marking: the chest line, the bust point, the waistline, the hip line, and the length of the dress. So I'm going to come to the waistline now. So from here to the waistline is the normal waistline of the front, which is 15.5, but my back waistline is 14.5. So from that 14.5, I'm going to come inward by half an inch to eliminate the zipper bulging effect. So from the chest line, I'm going to divide it by 2 to get where the line is going to stop. So if you're a slim person, you can take your line to the to the shoulder line. It's not going to affect anything. But if you're on the bigger side, I will advise you to divide your shoulder by 2. Whatever thing you have, that's where you're going to stop the line. And then you're also going to stop the line 1 inch before the hip line. So from this point, you are going to mark your dart, your nipple to nipple measurement, half of it. You are going to mark on your hip waistline, and then you are going to mark half inch on both sides. Did you see? Then on the bust point and the chest line, you mark your half of your bust bar measurement, and also on the hip line, then go ahead and connect your dart. So your dart is going to start from the chest line. So from the chest line, you connect your dart like so. And then from the hip line, you come up by 2 inches to stop your dart. So when you are done connecting your dart, you want to input 1/4 of your waist circumference. So the waist circumference, you divide your waist circumference by 4. Whatever thing you have, you mark. Then you add your 1 inch for dart, and then you also add 0.5 inch for ease. That is half an inch for ease. You can use 1 inch for ease or half an inch for ease. This is a jacket. It's not meant to be very fitted. So on your hip line, you mark 1/4 of your hip measurement, then add your half an inch for ease also on the hip line. So whatever thing you have on the hip line, you are going to go to the hem part and mark it. Whatever you have on the hip line, come to the hem part and mark that value. Then you go ahead and connect from the hip to the hem part, and then from the waistline to the hip line. So on the chest line, you want to mark 1/4 of your bust circumference, 1/4 of your bust circumference, and then you also mark half an inch for ease. So you can add 1 inch for ease or half an inch for ease or 3/4 of an inch, depending on how fitted you want your jacket to be. Then you go ahead and connect like this. Did you see that? So the next thing to do is to work on the shoulder. So you're going to mark half of your shoulder measurement. And on the chest line, you are also going to mark it just to get a straight line. And then you're going to connect from the shoulder line to the chest line. So you're going to take your neckline of 3 inches for the width. 3 inches for the width. That is the basic neckline. And you're going to come down by 1 inch and then connect your back neckline. So from the line here, you're going to come down by 1 inch to mark your shoulder slope. So you're going to divide your armhole by 2, and then go inward by half an inch. Get the midpoint of your armhole and go inward by half an inch. Then you want to go ahead and connect the 3 points like this with your French curve. So you can see that the back part is actually very easy to make, just the way you make your normal dress. So because I want this to have a seam line, a princess seam line, so you want to get the midpoint of your armhole to connect to your princess seam line. So you connect to the bust point because you want it to have, I want it to have a princess seam line. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to extend the dart leg to the down part. So this is the center back and here is the side seam for the back. So you want to go ahead and extend the dart leg to the hem part of this dress. So when I'm done, I will go ahead and cut out this pattern. So when I'm done cutting, I'm going to flip my pattern paper over to start my front part. So my front part, before I mark the line, I'm going to leave like 5 inches, like 6 inches or 5.5 inches on the side and also on the upper part. But because my paper is not long, so I'm going to be adding paper later on. So I have like 5.5 at that side. So I want to go ahead and mark my chest line, my waist line, my bust point line, my waist line, then my hip line and the length of the jacket. So you can see this is the chest line, the bust point, the waist line, the hip line, and the length of the dress. So you want to come to the waistline and take your half of your bust span measurement and then take your dart. So the dart intake I took is 1.5, 0.75 on both sides of the dart leg. So you can use 1 inch, you can use 1.5 for your front dart. So from the hip line, you come up by 2 inches, and then from the bust point line you come down by 0.75 inch and then start your line. Then you go ahead and connect your darts. So you want to go ahead and mark one quarter of your waist circumference, then mark your 1.5 inches dart, and then mark half inch for your ease allowance. So on the hip line, you also want to mark one quarter of your hip measurement plus half inch, 0.5 inch for your ease. Then you go ahead and connect. Whatever thing you have on the hip, you want to go ahead and mark it on the hem part of this dress. So you want to go ahead and, connect from the hip to the hem part. So for the chest line, you want to mark one quarter of your bust circumference, plus 0.5 inch for ease. Then you want to connect from the chest line to the waist line. So when you are done, you want to go ahead and mark our shoulder line. So from the shoulder line, you want to mark half of your shoulder measurement, and then you also mark half of your shoulder measurement on your chest line. Then you're going to rule a line to connect your armhole line. Did you see that? So you want to go ahead and mark 3 inches for your neck width and 3 inches for your neck depth. So this is like a basic neckline, and for a jacket I will advise you use this. So for the shoulder slope for the front is 1.5 inches, the back is 1 inch, the front shoulder slope is 1.5 inches because the back is a bit higher than the front. So from the chest line, you come up by 3 inches and then come inward by 3/4 of an inch to connect your armhole. So from the chest line, I went up by 3 inches and then come inward by 0.75 inch, which is 3/4 of an inch and connected my armhole curve. So you want to get the midpoint of your armhole to connect your princess seam line. So for the front, we are going to be taking that for the front. For the back, we didn't take it that, but for the front, we are going to take a dart. So I'll be taking a dart of 1 inch. But before then, I want to take from the chest line, I want to come up by 3/4 of an inch. The reason is I'm making a sleeveless jacket. I'm not going to be adding a sleeve to it. So if I use my normal armhole, it's going to be big. The armhole is going to be big and it's going to reveal maybe my bra and all of that. So from the chest line, I went up by 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to correct it on the back part. So I'm going to correct that on the back part. So you want to go ahead and take a dart on your armhole, ½ inch up and ½ inch down, making it 1 inch, and you want to go ahead and connect. Don't take it to the bust point. You can stop 3/4 of an inch above the bust point on 1 inch. Then that's where your dart is going to stop. So you want to go ahead and connect your darts. So if you're not making a sleeveless dress, please use your normal armhole. There is no need coming up by 0.3, 0.75 inch. So you want to extend your dart leg by 1 inch to replace the dart intake that you have taken. And on the armhole, on the bust line, you are going to add ½ inch to the bust line. So if I take a dart of one inch on the armhole, I usually add extra half inch to the bust line. But if I take a dart of 1.5 inches on the armhole, I will add extra 1 inch to the bust line. So for this, I added extra ½ inch to the bust line just to avoid shortage. So I'm going to also take the back part up by 0.75 inch. I forgot to do that for the back, so I'm going to do it later so that the back and the front will align together. So for the double breasted, you want to come to the waistline and come out by 5 inches, and you are going to, on the hip line, you're also going to come out by 5 inches, and also on the hemline, then mark a straight line. Bear in mind that you can decide where you want the double breasted to start from. You can start from the under bust, below the under bust, depending on how you want it. But for this tutorial, our own is going to start from the waistline. So the next thing you want to do is to add a paper, like an extra paper you can see on top, so that we can cut out the collar part. So the next thing is to mark a straight line from the tip of the neckline to meet the waist, the double breasted on the waist, the extension that you made or the overlap you made on the waist. Then you want to come in by 0.25 inch to connect. This is just to allow the collar to relax. So we came inward by 0.25 and then we connected it back to the line. So you want to go ahead and measure your back neckline. So you go ahead and measure your back neckline. So if you want to measure it, you keep your tape straight since the neckline is curved, so you need to keep your tape straight for it to be able to get it. So you want to extend this out in that diagonal line or in that slanted line, and then mark whatever thing you measured on your back neckline, and then you still come inward by 0.25 and then connect back to that line. So the reason why we are doing this is just to achieve a collar that will get to relax on the back of our jacket. So I actually made mistake on the waist, on the neckline. Like the neckline is looking like V instead of looking round. So I will later correct that. Please take note of that. So you also want to make a slant line. Did you see the way I kept the tape? Not straight, you make a slant line or a diagonal line, and then you mark the width of the collar that you want. So I marked 4 inches, sorry, and from the neckline I marked 3 inches for the lapel. So I actually made mistake. It's supposed to be rounded, not like V. So I will go ahead and correct that. So while marking your own neckline, please mark a round neckline, not a V neckline. Did you see? So I've reconnected that. So you want to make sure everything aligns together. So did you see that everything must align? If not, you remark every line very well. So did you see? So please take note of the lines of the measurement I took. So you want to come inward by 1.5 and also mark a diagonal line of 1.5. This is for that notched part, because what you are doing is a notched collar. So I came inward by 1.5 and marked a slanted line of 1.5, and then with my curve ruler I'm going to go ahead to connect my collar. So this is what we have for the collar, and then for the lapel you're going to connect like this. So this is a notched collar, collar jacket. Did you see? So look at where we're going to be cutting out. So this is actually very easy and simple to make. So this is the center front and the side seam for the front. So if you have any question, don't forget to drop it on the comments down below, so I will get to answer all your questions. So you go ahead and cut. So what you want to do is to mark the part that will be joined to the dress. Did you see? You marked on the shoulder line, and then you want to like notch that part. So you notched on your collar to know that this part will be the side that will match to the shoulder. You also notch on the dress to know where to join the collar. Then you go ahead and continue with your cutting. So this is actually very easy. If you need to like rewatch this collar part, you can go ahead and do that to avoid making mistake. So I'll go ahead and continue with my cutting. So this is it. This is the lapel part. Did you see that? Very easy and simple. So I'll go ahead and connect my dart line to the hem part, and then I'll continue with my cutting. So after I was done cutting, this is what I have. You need to test your pattern. So this is basically what I have for the pattern. So this is the back part. I want to take the armhole up. From the chest line I went up by 0.75 inch to reconnect my new armhole, because this is going to be a sleeveless dress. So when making a sleeveless dress, always make sure you don't use the normal armhole. You can go up by 0.75 inch or 1 inch to connect your armhole. This is just to avoid the armhole becoming too wide or showing your bra. So we have come to the end of today's class. In my next video, I'm going to show you how to sew this perfectly well with your lining. So stay tuned, and thank you guys for watching to this very moment. Don't forget to give this video a big like and share. Thank you guys. Bye.